All right, what's going on, man? We got a market recap for Monday, July 6th. No trades for me this morning. The move to this buy side liquidity just wasn't really clean at all. And like I said in the last video, just going to continue to, or going to treat these evals just like I normally would an XFA, just like how I want to be trading, regardless of what kind of accounts they are. So no trades for me this morning. My bias coming into the morning was bearish, but the ES and NQ were a little bit uncorrelated. Like the higher time frame charts on ES are still holding bullish structure. Meanwhile, on NQ, to end last week, we got this huge displacement down, which kind of ran through the bullish structure and has now started to form bearish high time frame structure. So I wanted to see these shorts potentially down to this sell side liquidity on NQ this morning. And that didn't end up happening. So we had this 15-minute gap that was opened up. I'm like, hey, if my short bias is correct, this 15-minute gap is going to hold and we're going to continue lower. So that's what I kind of wanted to see coming into the market. Open coming to, at first, like, I don't know, this whole move this morning was really chopped. We ended up running through the 15-minute gap, and I'm like, okay, if we close above these internal highs, I would be willing to potentially flip my bias and target this 1 hour buy side liquidity. Except the 15-minute candle ran through this 15-minute bearish gap, didn't close above the internal highs. That's kind of what I was looking for on the first 15-minute candle of market open. If it had done so, I would have probably went long. We didn't end up closing above the internal highs though. Then we get some 5-minute candles above here, and they weren't the best 5-minute candle closes of all time. And then we eventually ran up and edged this buy side liquidity and then came back down. Could have entered a trade there, but like the whole move just wasn't efficient, and there's no displacement in this whole move at all. And so if there's no displacement, do I really want to be taking a trade here? And the answer is no, not really. Also considering the fact that yes, this is a hourly swing high. It wasn't originally what I wanted to see coming into the market open, because if we zoom out here, the higher time frames, like we ran through bullish daily gaps over here. We have now formed a bearish daily gap that we're currently holding. Just a lot of mixed signals on the higher time frames, so it wasn't the best drawn liquidity either. So if I was going to target this drawn liquidity, I wanted to see an efficient move higher towards it. And we stalled out here at these internal highs. Not the best candle closes, and we've came up here and just pretty much just chopped around. It wasn't something that I was really willing to place a limit order here, and risk potentially just getting ran through. So yeah, that's the market recap. We come up and we have now just started to chop again. I locked myself out as soon as we started to chop after taking this draw on liquidity. And in my opinion, the highest probability trade today would have been for longs, would have been if we displaced past this first draw and continued higher to the next draw. But it was just so far away, and there just was a lack of volatility this morning. And so yeah, after failing lower, potential to target higher, nothing that I loved, so I personally didn't enter. Even if you did enter here, you probably most likely got break even because of how chopped this delivery is, and this just isn't really something that I want to be executing on. This isn't a good day of good moving price action. And so if it's not a good day of good moving price action with displacement towards a high time frame draw on liquidity, then I don't have to take a trade. Nobody is sitting here telling me that I have to take a trade today. We got a full week ahead of us. And so if I don't love it, then I'm not going to take a trade. Why would I put risk on the table? So that's the market recap. ES, took the same high as well, but like you can just see how kind of uncorrelated we are on the higher time frames right now. And so we're pretty much just chopping on the higher time frames. That's what it is. We're just chopping on the higher time frames. And so we'll just have to see what the market wants to do. But like when we're in this chop, you just got to play it one draw on liquidity at a time, right? When we're failing to trend on the higher time frames, you just got to play the nearest draw on liquidity. If we continue past this high, what's the nearest draw on liquidity? It's this high, and then that would just be your draw for the day. So yeah, that's the market recap. Nothing for me today. We'll see what kind of opportunity presents itself later on in the week. And that's all I got. Not going to make this one too long. Let me know if you took a trade or not. And me personally, I didn't see much in terms of entry points to execute on this move higher because it was just not good delivery. But other than that, that's all I got. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow's market recap. Peace.